Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing some super fresh, delicious, and easy vegetable garden recipes. I'm really excited to share these recipes with you guys, and I'm very happy that today's video is sponsored by Verizon. About 3 years ago this season is when I first started my vegetable garden. And when I did that, that's when I first started to really become passionate about cooking. And I really enjoyed cooking super fresh and easy recipes right from my garden. I loved the concept of pulling something from my garden, bringing it into my kitchen and right onto my plate, because I felt like I was really enhancing the nutrients that I was getting from that vegetable. Of course, when you cook something up, you lose some of the nutrients. It's still wonderful for you, but I really love the process of just, getting something fresh and easy right to your plate. In honor of Earth Day, I want to talk to you quickly about the sustainable efforts Verizon is taking. As part of their Citizen Verizon plan, Verizon is committed to planting 20 million trees by 2030. This year, when you purchase one of Verizon's eco-friendly accessories, like their sustainable light cases, Verizon will plant a tree in your honor, up to 1 million trees. That's the acreage equivalent of 55 Central Parks. Click the link in my description to learn more, and thank you Verizon for sponsoring today's video. We are going to be making a crisp and delicious cucumber salad that is so good, especially on a summer day. We're going to be doing a bruschetta, we're going to be doing a quinoa salad with roasted veggies and feta, and also a caprese salad. I'm not saying that you need to eat all of these at one time. They are just to give you some inspo, but do you? I want to start off with this cucumber salad recipe. It is crisp, delicious, and so easy to do. You just want to slice your cucumber just like so. You can use 1 or 2 cucumbers, depending on how many people will be eating. I'm just going to do 1 today. Save 2 of these in the refrigerator. Put them on your eyeballs for your spa night routine. You're gonna throw your cucumber into a bowl. Grab some fresh green onion from your garden. This is a ½ cup of rice vinegar, and then I'm going to add in my green onion. I like a lot of it. And then we have 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, a ½ tablespoon of sugar, some red chili flakes to taste, and add in a large pinch of sesame seed. Stir until you notice that your sugar has dissolved. This is such a delicious way to use your cucumber and your green onion growing in your garden. And very addicting and so good.
Okay, good. Moving on to the next recipe, honey. Oh, yeah.
Isn't it good? This next recipe makes my Italian heart very happy because there's a large baguette right next to me. Primarily, I love bread, but also the tomato and the lemon and the garlic and the basil. If you don't have any veggies growing in your backyard or on your balcony, but you're interested in getting that same satisfaction of pulling something and just putting it right into your dish, I highly recommend just putting a couple of herbs on your windowsill. It gives you that same satisfaction. And that's what I did for a long time before I started my vegetable garden. So I'm gonna take the basil right off of this plant and put it into our bruschetta recipe. I am going to start thinly slicing my basil. I love the smell of basil. And whenever I smell basil, it makes me instantly want tomatoes. I start craving it. And not only are tomatoes and basil so good together on a dish, they're actually really good together in the garden. Personally, I've grown basil the best in a garden bed. I love having herbs inside, but they can be more finicky inside. Basil loves a veggie garden and loves being right next to tomato. We can add our basil into the dish that we will be adding our tomatoes to in just a moment. These tomatoes are freshly picked from our garden. So whenever you're growing veggies, you're gonna have stuff like this happen. All you gotta do is cut that little piece off. I'm never looking for perfection when I'm growing veggies, especially in an organic garden where I'm not using any chemical pesticides. I like to do a little squeeze of a lemon slice. Garlic is, of course, crucial. We have minced garlic in a jar, but sometimes it's nice to just have fresh garlic. We are going to do 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You'll want to do 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar if you have it. If you don't, you can also use a 1/2 tablespoon of red wine, which I'm doing, and then another 1/2 tablespoon of white vinegar. You'll want to mix that all up. It's already starting to look delicious. You'll want to add some salt and pepper to taste. And then this bruschetta is even better when it's been sitting in the fridge for about an hour. It's great just like this, honestly, but it's really good once it's kind of soaked in all the juices. And then, of course, the most important part of this whole situation is our delicious loaf. I love a sourdough loaf, but the French baguette is a really great size. Sourdough is just really good for your gut. I don't know, really good for your gut, but better for your gut than most breads. I like to add a little bit of olive oil to the top of each piece of baguette. All right. And this is my favorite part of the whole cooking process. This reminds me of living alone because it actually is something very easy, but also very filling to make yourself. And I used to eat this all the time when I just had a ton of tomatoes and I wanted to use them up so that they don't go to waste, and I had a baguette, which I always do. I would just make this guy. And I had just basil growing in my apartment in LA when I lived alone. And so I was like, let's take some fresh basil and make this, and it's really delicious. Now it is time to do the quinoa and roasted veggie with feta salad. I've got the quinoa already cooking up. This is our first zucchini we've grown in New Zealand, so hello, welcome to the world, welcome to New Zealand, how are you doing? Now we are going to cut this baby up, and we're going to add the roasted veg onto this guy, and we're gonna throw it into the oven at 100 degrees Celsius. Look at me doing Celsius over here. Adding some olive oil, some salt and pepper to taste. I'm putting my vegetables on a lined baking tray. While I'm roasting the veggies for the quinoa salad, I am going to start on this caprese salad because this is the easiest recipe of the day. It takes 5 minutes to put together or less. I am going to cut my tomato into slices just like this. Then you are going to cut some slices of your mozzarella. I personally like to do a little pattern with the cheese and tomato like this. Just makes it a little bit easier to eat. And then I throw the basil on top. I love this dish because of how easy it is, and you can really have fun with it visually. Then you will drizzle some olive oil on top. A coarse salt on top is really nice with this, especially the salt and mozzarella when they come together. It's so delicious. And some fresh ground pepper on top. Now you can leave it like this and it's perfectly delicious. Sometimes people like to add some balsamic vinegar. It's kind of whatever your choosing is. I'm going to put a little bit of vinegar on top because I know Alex likes it that way. Gives it a little bit more zing. I'm going to remove my garlic because I'm gonna squeeze those in just a second, but I'm gonna lift my parchment paper up and I'm just going to let that all go into the quinoa. Then I chopped up some of this gorgeous traditional feta. I'm gonna do a squeeze of a half a lemon. I am squeezing the roasted garlic kind of gross, but delicious. This is one thing that I love about garlic. You can roast it with olive oil and it just creates the most delicious candied taste. I am adding some pepper and some dried parsley. And I'm just gonna mix this all up. The lemon and the olive oil that we use to roast the veggies all come together, and it creates naturally a really nice, simple dressing. And here we have our delicious quinoa roasted veggie salad that is super easy to make, but a little bit more complicated than the other recipes. Doesn't take too much time, but is really good and warm and healthy. The roasted garlic in that is also very good. I'm having like a very delicious aftertaste right now. I am very tired now after cooking 4 different recipes for you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to go finish up some of these dishes that I made. If you guys make any of these recipes on Instagram, definitely tag me so that I can check out how you guys recreate them. Thank you again to Verizon for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you guys very soon in a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye.